Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we are going to be looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now trading at $20,000 or just a shy hair above it. This has just recently happened. I mean, I can flip it to the hourly and you can see that it was within the hour of today where Bitcoin got over the $20,000 hump. Earlier this morning, we did see it rise from this, um, I guess you could say, trading channel here and has shot up through and has continued on. Now this is very exciting. Um, it it however comes into question of what Bitcoin's going to do next. Bitcoin was for the most part moving sideways uh, for the past few days, few couple weeks actually, and now it has decided to go over $20,000. This goes back on the notion that I had that $20,000 would be a lot more difficult than what people think, and I'm happy to be wrong in that case. I believe you as well as I do want to see Bitcoin over $20,000. Just on how we get there is up for debate, right? And in my eyes, doesn't really matter how we get there as long as we get there. Things do change though, and with the price over $20,000, the question now is what can we sustain it? And it's quite possible we do. It's quite possible we don't. For example, in the latter months of the summer, we saw that the level to beat was $12,000. So if I put a line at about 12,000, okay. Whoops. Uh, as you can see here, we did rise quite significantly. We rose about, I can't remember, it was about a few $1,000s. Yeah, from 9,000 to pretty much 12,000. So it was about $3,000 increase. And and the talk of the town at the time, as you know, as recent as that was, it was only a few months ago, was breaking the $12,000 mark. And Um, we flirted with it. We came back down. We touched the 20-day moving average, if that means anything to you. We then rallied back and went over $12,000, went to a high of about 12.4, and then came down, broke the 20-day, and kind of retraced back down to about $10,000, and then kind of for better or for worse, if you want to call it, slowly moved up and it became this just immense rally all the way up to 12,000 $20,000. Um, as you can see, these two movements are quite similar in nature, with some small differences. I mean, in the previous one, we had to go above the 12,000 mark before we broke the 20-day. In current situations, we've already broken below the 20-day and has rallied past it, and now we're over at $20,000. Um, so we'll definitely see. I mean, even in the spring in May, of this giant sideways moving channel here, we did break above $10,000 at one point, right? In June, we peaked over, we made to about 10.5, came back down and continued trading sideways, right? And in some respects, this here is a lot more similar. And I can bring out the bars pattern here, and you can and you can see some of the similarities. So you could see the similarities here. Currently, right now, we're breaking above what was the $10,000 mark. In this case, we just double it to 20,000, and you can see the similarities here. And because of that, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but I still think that the no the idea that Bitcoin continues to move sideways, even though it's broken $20,000, so to speak, is still on the table. We can very much correct back down and come back into this trading channel, uh, and continue on. Um, we'll see if this comes in with an exorbitant amount of volume. I mean, we could throw the volume indicator here, see where we're at least on Bitstamp. Um, sort of the moving average on there. So we're kind of dipping below in volume. So we're not getting the surge of volume that we would need to break such a level, in my opinion. So um, and you could take it as you like about volume, but if we come through it with conviction and really rally beyond it, then obviously the idea of Bitcoin continuing to move sideways becomes a further and further and less concrete argument for the case of Bitcoin, and the idea that this is a continuation from the previous rally that we had, um, becomes a stronger case. And this is exciting. It could be too early to tell, but the next question becomes is, well, what are altcoins doing? This can't be good for altcoins, and you'd be correct. When we look at the Bitcoin dominance, as shot past that blue line that has come back from 2017, or sorry, from 2016, rather 2015, 2016, before the last bull market, and we're continuing up. Um, and so with that said, then um, we'll definitely see how this plays out. Uh, for these moments where we see these huge shots of Bitcoin gaining dominance against altcoins, um, is not something that we'd all like to see, especially if you're heavily invested into altcoins. But this was always on the cards. This was just a theory that I had, and considering the fact that my argument is that within 231 days we'll see a full cycle of the dominance come back up, I think is still on the cards. As long as we see Bitcoin dominance retrace at some point, or come hit this resistance line and continue on, um, it's kind of business as usual, I guess, in that sense. So we'll definitely see how this plays out. It's still very exciting. And we'll continue watching the price. I mean, what better way to spend a Wednesday than seeing Bitcoin go above $20,000 and beyond? Remember, if you do like the video, hit the like button down below, as well as also consider subscribing. Take care, everyone.